Edmonds, and I'm with the Purposeful Culture Group and the Ken Blanchard Companies. I'm a speaker, author, and executive consultant, and had the pleasure to speak to the NEHES conference this morning as the opening keynote.
Your message is about how changing cultures. If you could condense it to one or two key elements, what would they be?
Well, what I'm trying to do is inspire leaders to pay as much attention to the way their team operates as they do to performance. And the reality is that most workplaces aren't great places to work. They're not compelling, they're not inspiring. So if we can get to a values emphasis as much as a performance emphasis, what we find is it boosts engagement, it boosts performance, and it boosts service. It's a pretty good trifecta.
With NEHES, these are a lot of people that are keeping hospitals going. A lot of hands-on, kind of a tool belt kind of people. How do you put the values into that setting when they're so concerned about keeping the plumbing going?
Yeah, exactly. And what's interesting is it's about their team's values and how do they work together. Do they cooperate? Do they kind of see their role as if I win and you lose, then tomorrow we start the battle again? And what that does is it creates much more anxiety and stress, and it actually inhibits the team's performance. So if we look at a person who's trying to keep the lights on, who's trying to keep the boiler running, who's trying to make sure that there's safety around construction zones, the reality is that the way that player with the tool belt, guy or gal, interacts with the family of a patient, interacts with patients, interacts with nurses, interacts with doctors, interacts with administration, has a huge impact on the perception of the team. And so if you got a person who sees their role as I fix boilers, they're not going to necessarily they'll make an impression. It may not be a great impression.